Hello. My capstone project that I chose to do for sociology is on Natalia Grace. She's a victim of child abuse and neglect. She got labeled as a con artist for some time. And this is by Rita Ephraimson. She is a girl who was born September 4th, 2003 in Ukraine. She has a condition called dystrophic dysplasia that is a type of dwarfism. Dystrophic means distorted. It's a condition where she has many severe skeletal abnormalities. I say she was born in 2003 because she was. She got adopted in 2008 by a family and then got placed for readoption in 2008. Got adopted by Michael and Christine Barnett in 2010. They accused her of having threatening behaviors. By June 2012, they changed her birthday from 2003 to 1989. And moved her into an apartment at age 9. So they adopted her at age 7. They moved her into her own apartment at age 9, claiming she was way older than she was. These are some pictures of her back then, pictures of her now, pictures with her and her friends. And that picture in the middle is of her in 2012 when they were claiming her to be in her 20s. There's many occurrences that happened over the years that they got reported for child abuse, and then because of they changed her age, then they couldn't claim it as child abuse. It wasn't claimed as child abuse. So she was living in an apartment 5 miles away from them in 2012. And then in 2013, the lease could not be renewed. So they moved her into a different apartment, but that apartment had many, many steps to climb up to. I can imagine that would be extremely difficult with her dwarfism and how her feet can curve. Soon after, the Barnetts actually moved to Canada, and she was there. She was close to like everything that she would need, but she was living there alone. There's times that the lights went off and they didn't pay electricity. So I think it happened 2 times where a report was filed. Nothing. And then in 2013, August, September, Tippecanoe County Adult Protective Services had opened a case, and then they closed at that time. September, I think that was around the same time that the Mans took her in. Around this time. So September 2014. So mind you, this is going from, there's so much information. So they adopted her in 2010, right? And then by 2013, she's still living on her own. She's been living on her own for a year. She started going to an adult reading academy close to her house, and the Tippecanoe County Sheriff's Department received a complaint from staff because they were questioning her age. April 2015, a prosecutor filed an appearance having to do with the name change case. And then in 2016 of March, the Manns filed a petition for guardianship, but the court recommended that they vacate the name change order. During this time, Natalia was not afforded due process. I included in the bottom that 90% of kids, this is a little interesting fact, entering foster care in Indiana is because of neglect in 2022. That's pretty sad. Then in 2019, the Barnetts got charged. Out of all these charges listed, they got away. All the charges got dropped. Because according to statute of limitations, the trial court ruled any evidence outside of the 5 years before the charges were set were prohibited to be used in court. Had she, now mind you, this is 2019 that this is happening. So it, with the charges that they got, so anything, say, before, what would it be, 2014, anything before that, it was water under the bridge. Granted, she was adopted by the Barnetts in 2010. This doesn't really sit right with me. And I'm leaving out a lot of facts to get this, so you're not sitting here all day. This is really not fair for her. Trying to think if I missed anything that I should say. Sorry for that. This case is so complicated and involved. It's hard to keep it all straight. So when they appealed it, the state of Indiana appealed it, tried to appeal it in 2021, August 25th, 2021. Essentially, they said that the state failed to allege sufficient facts to constitute an exception to statute. Essentially, and like, sorry, state, you already tried, like, you can't no, like it's over with. Now, this is all included in the the Hulu docuseries. I do believe that there was at one point, I don't have the papers proving it, but there was at one point also in there that they were talking about how she got her name changed actually back because, or her age changed actually back because the government stepped in and was like, I don't think so. This is kind of wrong. No, this ain't right. So that was a really quick sum up of her case. And there's lots of points that I'm missing, but I wanted to talk about the human rights violated and why this is a social issue. I have Article 1, 3, 5, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 18, 25, 26, 28, 29, and 30. Why? She was not treated as equal. She was made out to be a villain, and she was just a little girl. You can tell clearly by those pictures that I showed that she's a little girl. They had scans done and showing that she did not have adult teeth. The third article that was violated, the third article is violated, right to life. She was put in a little apartment, not with her family. And Article 5 was violated too. She was sprayed with by the hands of Christine. She was sprayed with pepper spray in her eyes. She was spanked. In the docuseries, it also mentions other manners of not right torture. She accused her of having a period, said she had a period, said she lied. Now the docuseries and there is also a TV show based on this that says it says it a little bit differently in there. The reason why there was blood on some socks, but she got accused of having a period, and it clearly was not the case. Article 6 was violated because she was not recognized. That one hearing where they changed her name, she was not there. She was in the hospital. She did not have the right. Her rights are violated because she wasn't recognized at that there. Article number 8, right to seek justice is if rights are violated. So when they went to appeal the decision, she didn't have the right to do that. There's a hearing, but she was still made out to be the villain, and she was made out to be Okay, to speed it up, Article 11 and 12 and 18 and 25 and 26 and 28 and 29 and 30, I believe, were all violated. She did not go to school. She had to go to, because they had put her in an apartment, her right to go to school was then taken away. And she had to receive education from that adult learning academy when she was very young. The social institutions that we're kind of talking about, family is obviously, this is a lot about family. This is about healthcare, education, mass media. The media made her out to be a monster when she was a victim of child abuse. Some questions I have is, I want to ask you, who could have changed things, how things turned out for Natalia if laws could allow all documents in court? Would things have gone differently for her? This is a picture of her then and now, when they accused her of being an adult versus now her actually being an adult. That is Cynthia and Antoine Mans, who took her and took care of her. She's now in with some people called the DePauls, and she's staying with them since 2003. That's all.